Well, good day, all. I'm Epstein with your SPDR-ETF stock market wrap-up. This is your weekly edition, and it is for Friday, the 25th of August, 2023. Now, I moved NVIDIA, and it is NVIDIA. I went online to see that. I tried to pronounce the CEO's name. I can't. It goes by Jensen, but that's not really the name. The last name's long, but it's a whole different way that you say it. It's confusing. But NVIDIA is now in my subscriber videos, period. That's where I'm going to keep it. It's very important, and that's why I want to keep it in there, because I know so many of you want to know about it. And hey, my call on it was pretty darn good, where I said to traders, you watch that upper Bollinger Band. This is just how it works typically. Markets go there for those first tests, and it wants you to think this is the time it's going to keep going. And that's how they build Vegas, because you're going to win. That poll is going to get you that $50 million. You know what the odds are of that. All right. And that's what happened. So that's where I'm putting it. Now, as for my subscription on the website, please don't go buy one yet. When you go to our website, we're going to be putting up a sale for Labor Day. And it'll start early. It might be Monday. We're finishing it up right now. And you'll be able to get 40% off on everything that I've got there that is listed for sales, and a subscription to this is there. So if you want it, that's where you get it. Otherwise, don't write me, hey, why am I not covering them? I am. That's where it's going to be. It belongs in there. It's very important now, and that's what the subscribers pay me for. All right, so we're going to move on to a couple of things. First, big fire going on at Mobil. One of our main refineries caught on fire. I don't know the severity of the damage. I know that heating oil, which is jet fuel and the like, went up 14 cents a gallon. Gasoline went up 7. And if you watch my videos that I talk about seasonality, I had no idea there'd be a fire, but this is where the market normally goes up and peaks out around the 28th of August on a historical basis. Will the history repeat itself? If the fire is serious, I'd say it will. All right. Then we had today the important meeting at 9 in the morning, 9:05 to be specific, of Fed Chair Powell. And he made things very clear. Couldn't have been clearer. First off, you knew it was going to be a serious part when he told you, he said, this is going to be a longer speech than my last one. So we knew how short last year's was. And it was just the Fed's there. They're going to fight inflation, and that's the end of it. This was different. This was that 2% target that so many of the naysayers say they'll never go for. That is the target at this point in time. I'm a naysayer with that. I am not convinced that come April, May, June of next year, that if we're under 3%, the Fed has to just keep pushing down to get that. I think they'd like to get to that target, but they'll say they're close enough, and that's the ballpark. All right? Do I think they'll lift to a 3%? Only time will tell, but it isn't this year. So get that off your calendar. The other thing for you naysayers, get off your calendar in any manner that the United States is going to see our Fed cut interest rates unless there's a national calamity of some type. I don't know what that means, but that would be the big event that takes place. Everything else means the Fed is live on each meeting. He made it clear they're going to be looking at the data, the labor, which is staying stronger than they thought it would. They're going to be looking at shelter costs. Housing is stronger than they thought it was going to stay up. They're going to be looking at CPIs and PPIs. I mean, that's what we've got. We have a full set of them coming at the beginning of September, and then we get the FOMC meeting. They might come in weak. That might put the Fed on pause. Then November is another live meeting. Just giving you how these things are going to play out. And he laid it out. Now, will people disbelieve what he said? Of course. That's what the naysayers do. I'm not one of them. I have not covered in this report Exxon. It dawned on me. And I think it deserves covering. The market's in a consolidation pattern. That's the first thing that I see on a weekly bar chart. When I look at the pattern, it is not a trend. It could become one very easy. I'll show you that in a minute. You've got a lower low and a higher high. If you were to take out 112.07, you would then have higher lows, higher highs. That's the first thing I'm looking at. The second is where the battle's taking place for direction. you're over the 18-week moving average of closes. The 100-week is here, the 200-week is here. As long as you stay over it, you have the upside bias. So the possibility for an uptrend to develop is great. If you were to fall under 122, just imagine falling. You'd still have the higher high and lower low. You wouldn't do anything. So that's one possibility. If it rallies, the Bollinger Band is rushing down to it. It's right now at 114.45. It'll be lower than that. It's dropping to the tune. I can even show you this. No, we'll do it right here. I think this will be the easiest way. It's not going to let me do it. I'm so sorry. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It's crazy. It's not going to let me go a day at a time. Higher high, lower low, nothing to do. Watch this one, we'll know it. See what I said? It's nuts. It depends on the chart sometimes. But that will fall each day. I can do it here for you. 115.96. This week it dropped roughly 1.5 points. If that happens again, you'll be in the 113 area. That's all that I was trying to make out to you. You also have momentum that is used a lot, though, to get up here, and it's gotten itself into an area that's overbought. What do I define as overbought? Any reading over 70. And remember, I'm redoing my whole charting course. I promise you I'm going to be buried in it come next week. It's just going to be day after day that I start finishing up the PowerPoints, then I start recording the chapters, and it'll be something I promised myself I'm going to get done. I want this there for the Christmas holidays where you can give this away as gifts, get it for yourself, whatever it is. It's going to be a great course for you. In Microsoft, okay, people keep telling me this is going to go. Well, where's it going? The weekly chart's ugly. It's easier to get bearish than bullish. You have a higher high, a lower low. Even if you just rally straight up, you'd have still this lower low and the higher high. That's the problem. But if you take out this week's low, you'd end up with lower highs, and you already got the lower low. So it's more defensive than anything. I don't understand how the regional banks hold on here, given that the Fed's going to stay so tight. I mean, there was a lot of hope that that wouldn't be the case. And they're going to have different requirements. People are demanding money. They're demanding, what do I mean by that? You know, people aren't foolish. You got money in your bank. You're not going to let the bank earn the interest. You want to get it. Hey, I'm either going to put it in a money market. I want a CD. I want something that you earn less on. I want the lion's share of that money. MCHI. China's in a bad way. There's no other way to say it. They're in a bad way. This is not their time of growth. It's going to be a long time. They made moves last night on mortgages to make, if you had a mortgage, here's what they did in their logic. If you understand this, I don't get it. If you had bought a home, got a mortgage, paid it off, and you went to buy another home, you were treated as though, well, you can't get the benefit. You already had the first-time mortgage. So finally, they've woken up somebody there and said, you know, if a man had a mortgage and he paid it off and he wants to buy something else, I don't know if they can buy a second home or if this is just for another first home. They sold their home, they get it. We'll let them be treated as a first-time buyer. That's good. But then they blow it again. They tell all the provinces throughout China that the local governments could decide if they want to go along with that or not. Okay, I guess that's their method of guidance. I'm lost. Okay, higher high, lower low. What are you doing? You're trading below above, up to the Bollinger Band, back down to it, and you're not in a trend in that market. Our industry. You just lost the embedded reading. I think you're going right down now to the 104.44 level, well before you get back over that high. So I look for that to happen in very short order. In XLE, overbought market in the energy sector. It could stay here. It can drag both these numbers and we just got this week the first time. Both are over 80. You need 2 more weeks to get the embedded reading. Now we know the Saudis are going to do everything they can to take oil off the market. We know we just had Marathon have a big fire. That will be less demand on oil. And we know that as we go now out of the driving season, the heating oil is important, fuel and so on. So the game shift is on. we saw the refineries in America do their downgrades, and now they're coming back online to do a lot of other work. In other words, the winter blends. As we look at the UUP, the dollar, I mean, everything going for the dollar is just a rocket ship. This is called a vertical price rise. On a weekly chart, I wouldn't know how to catch to buy it. What do? Throw a dart at it? Because that's all you can do. The daily, no. And if you were a subscriber of mine, you know you were in the play. That's different. But the weekly chart has been a son of a gun, and UUP has not been as good a chart as the dollar index, the dollar futures on there. And this is based on them. That's what this is based on. GLD, I am just not bullish gold in any manner. I mean, the headwind is the Fed. And the Fed is determined to break the back of inflation via raising interest rates. Rising dollar, rising rates. Why do I want to own an asset that pays me nothing? The gold miners, if the gold's no good, why do I want to own the miners? They need to process the gold to make money. Tesla. Okay, Tesla had a good week. It was one of the stellar performers, but the chart is ugly as heck. I mean, all you did is you're bouncing at this number here. Frankly, if you get under last week's low, I think you open up the door to 196.97. You already got momentum down. You're going to have headwinds at the 251 level. To me, it looks like more of a bounce off a market that fell apart from the, 309 level all the way in here to the 212, gave you a little bounce. That's not friendly. So for my money, I'm thinking that if you get under this week's low was 220.58. On a weekly basis, sell signals come into the market again. Uber, now I'm covering Uber for you. Listen, when I ask you people to give me things to cover, I'm going to listen to them, and I like to bring them on. So we're doing this one, we're doing Walmart. I've done a bunch of things for you. Higher highs, higher lows, still friendly, but I hate this. You got big divergence. Momentum's pointing down. You could easily get under last week, not this week's low, and go right back to the 4201 level. It is not in the buy mode as I see it. Apple, I am telling my clientele and telling you that watch, no, it is a bad historical play to be negative on Apple going into September release of products. The market normally rallies in front of it. Now, after it, anything can happen. But in front of it, it normally rallies. I'm looking for that to occur. Last, Google. It's not doing anything good here. It's got no real maneuverability. It goes up, gets near Bollinger Band, gets thrown back. If we take a look at the embedded readings here, you're not there. Both numbers aren't at 80. I don't care what they worked before. You lost it, okay? You lost it the week of the 18th, and it stayed lost. Game over. I think you should still get back to the 18-day average to regroup before all is said and done. And that's how my news would look. So I want to remind you, if you want any of our free offers, and I'd love you to get some of them, they're there on the website. And the website is iraepstein.com. You can move your cursor to the top up here and just do that as well. There'll be an icon that appears. Please listen to what I'm saying. I'm going to offer you a discount. It'll be Monday or Tuesday that we put this all together on the website, so don't buy any of my products over the weekend, okay? I want to be honest with you. I don't want you to pay me full price now, and I'm going to give you a discount right after that. I'm Ira. You have yourselves a great weekend. I'll see you all Monday morning. Take care.